Welcome to QueAquatics and Exotics. My name's Suzy, and this is a beautiful spring day. I'm starting to get the ponds open, but I have a quick thing I have to do. Well, I think it might be quick in the fish room. I have an idea. It might be a little off the wall, but I have a 55-gallon aquarium, algae ridden, that has some horrible water stains on the back that I just can't get clean. So I thought the only way to really clean it is to flip it around so that I could access the back, because it's the back of the tank that has all these water stains, to where even a white background would look bad, a dark background, any background I make, I could just see the stains. So I thought the best way to work on it is to flip it around. Well, before I flip it around, I thought, well, let me put a backing on it. So I'll put a backing on with vinyl, flip it around, and then I can work on the water stains and see if I can get this tank cleaned up. Otherwise, I'm going to trade it in for a 75-gallon. Not really trade it in, just buy a 75-gallon. So let's see if I can salvage this 55-gallon aquarium. I'm going to be using some hardcore vinegar, elbow grease. I got some quadruple 040 steel wool. I'm ready to get this tank cleaned up. But first, I got to drain the tank, get rid of the fish, just move them to different tanks and put the vinyl backing on. And since I have Steam Fought Blue, I'm going with Steam Fought Blue. So let's get started.
So come along with me, it's SuzyQue. Hey.
Scraping down the sides, remove the interior stuff. I left the bottom dwellers. Let me show you what I did with the tetras. I didn't want them to miss the algae, so you know, I put them in a tank that was the same TDS, the same pH. They look so good in this 40-gallon. Working out the last of the bubbles. This is the Steam Fought Blue vinyl because it's free. So the whole purpose of doing this was I tearing down my 55-gallon tank because it has such bad, horrible water stains, white thick stains in the back. I think they're water stains that I can't work on. The only way to work on it is to get behind the tank. So what I'm doing is I am getting some of the bubbles out of the vinyl. Kyle, my expert in vinyl application, started me off. There's absolutely no bubbles here, but as I put them on, there's lots of bubbles. I don't think from the angle that I was standing at I understood. But he said don't worry about it because of the temperature of the water that's going to be in the tank, the tropical 78 degrees, the bubbles will work their way out. I'm going to go get John and see if he can help me flip this tank because the other side of the tank has some horrible water spots or water stains or white stains that don't come out. And I figure what is a better way of working on the tank than having it forefront? Because behind the tank I can't get to it. I couldn't put a back on it because it just looked horrible. So this is this tank's last chance. I'm going to try as many methods as I can to clean the glass before I throw in the towel. So I've emptied out this 55 except for some of the substrate and the bottom dwellers. I left all my cord cats in here, my Botia striata, I think it's striata, the striped Botia, my pleco. I'm going to have John help me flip this around. So I got this spun around now. I would have videotaped it, but John was in no mood and I was just happy that he was helping. So I have scrubbed with steel wool and vinegar these white spots, and this is why I wanted to turn it around so I was able to work with this. So it's not going to be this gorgeous tank right away, and hopefully I'll be able to get some of these hard water stains off. Ay, ay, ay. But it's not looking very good. When it's wet, it looks good. It's when it's dry, not so good. So you said just keep working on the same spot, right? Just to see if it makes a difference? No. Well, if it's something, I got the initial layer off, but it's still white. That's all this side is. Yep.
Alright, so what I can do is get your drill. What about this here? Did you try that?
Did I?
It's take off like glue and adhesive, which probably locked. I don't know how well it'll work. I figured maybe we'll just try it. I don't think it would be as good as the vinegar, but
So I was to the point where I tried whatever he handed me, I tried. To no avail. Every time the tank dried, all the spotting came back. Nope. That's the stuff that just won't come off no matter what. Alright, I am going to have to try and see if John Bag of Donuts can help me in his way, because my way's not working. Like I said, we're at our last resort, so I'm about ready to toss the tank if we can't.
do you have one of those clean towels there handy?
Because I think it's worked. So I'm going to finish filling up the tank with water, put the hardscape back in, and a couple of sword plants. And I'm going to top off the soil with some pebbles. So I'm going to see if the title filled with polyfilter, if this will clear up this little bit of haze, because I can't tell if the water's hazy or if it's the glass, because the glass was in horrible condition. This is crystal clear water. Not yet. Not yet. Once it is, then I'll go back to being a sponge filter. So look how clear this water cleared up. Just hang on the back filter overnight. The SuzyQue title. Filled with polyfill. Now I'll put the SuzyQue back where it was. Alright, let's add some more plants. I got a box. Definitely going on a tank. I just don't know which one yet. Amania gracilis. Pogostamus Celis octopusa. Have two of those. Two Amanias. Oh, I've got these 4 plants. So they're in the black pots. I kept those two kind of close together. My Pogostamus, Amania gracilis. Because right now I've got the 2 swords in there. I've got some extras that I've been pulling out of other tanks when they're just floating on top. There's my crypt I got from Donnie at NY Gold. And there is my Java Fern Driftwood. It's time to start planting my new plants. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tweeze past the root. The stem ends here and the tweezers go to here. So I'm not hurting the tweezers. I'm not hurting the stem. Put it in, open the tweezers slightly and see if I can pull out the tweezers, leave the plant. And you kind of see how the substrate is filling in behind it. And if I pull the tweezers straight out, the plant and everything will come. So I kind of wiggle it back and forth like this. And it brings all the soil in around. So I got two different kinds of substrate in here. I got my aqua soil. And then I topped it with this red clay because I really love the look of it. Aqua soil does not need to be capped off, but this one has a little side shoot going. I'm going to make sure I get that inside the tweezer so nothing happens to it. And my vision for these red plants is to come on this side of the wood as well. And this is the same plant, so there were quite a few. And the Pogostamus is going to be right in front of the heater back there. And if you pull this rock wool off so carefully, sometimes it's packed. Just so. So they're all, it's like it's wrapped in it. So if you just pull them out, you'll pull the roots out and all. But if you peel it back, there's actually 4 amazing stems filled with roots. And I do try to remove as much rock wool as possible. And again, this is 12 amazing, hardy Pogostamen stellatus octopus. And these I'm going to want to put, going to go right in here, right back by the heater. And it actually may split up. 4, 5 here, and 3 on that side. Let me see. I do have some water wisteria back there, so I'll probably keep the Pogostamus over here by the slate. I hit a rock. Did not know. See, and that's a good reason why I have these tweezers. I hit a rock and it's not going to let me go any farther. There we go. A little closer up front than I wanted to. But, so those are just 2 plants. I actually got 2 of each. So I might put these in this 29 gallon. And I pulled out these dwarf sage. And hopefully they'll shoot runners off and start to invade the bottom of the tank. I would like that a lot. So here's the outcome of all that work, all that scrubbing. The glass came out sparkling clean. I added the 2 dozen plants that came in the mail from Aquarium Co-op, and I also added a whole bunch of dwarf Sagittarius from another aquarium. I think this came out looking amazing. I am so happy. It is a keeper. Look at the difference between the old and the new. Very, very happy. What do you guys think?
Hey, everybody, it's SuzyQue. Hey, everybody, it's SuzyQue. Nah, nah, hey, everybody, it's SuzyQue. So come along with me. Said